Brought to you by Seiko.
Welcome back. The High Court has ruled that key ATV investor Wang Zheng had inappropriately interfered with the company's operations. As a result, it has approved the appointment of an independent manager to look into the TV station's accounts. Stephanie Choi reports.
Taiwanese snack tycoon and ATV investor Tsai Ing-ming had asked the High Court to look into the company's accounts and management. This afternoon, High Court Judge Mr. Justice Jonathan Russell Harris ruled that major investor Wang Zheng's inappropriate involvement with ATV had led to the Communications Authority recommending that the broadcaster should not have its license renewed. The judge also ordered another investor, Wong Ben-kun, to sell at least 10.75% of his stake to a third party. The judge also allowed Tsai Ing-ming's application to appoint 2 independent managers to look into the company's accounts and meeting minutes and assist the third party in buying Wong's stake. The judgment also arranged for ATV to hold an extraordinary meeting to consider and vote on appointing independent managers to the board of directors. Tsai Ing-ming will bear the cost. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
The judge in the corruption trial involving former Chief Secretary for Administration Raphael Hui and the top executives of Sun Hung Kai Properties today began giving the jurors instructions before jury deliberations. Rani Samtani has more.
After 7 months, Mr. Justice Andrew McRae began summing up the case and giving instructions to the 9 jurors. The judge pointed out that Raphael Hui received $8.5 million 4 days before he took office as Chief Secretary for Administration in 2005. Hui faces charges related to bribery and misconduct in public office. The judge said that there is no doubt that Hui received money, but the jury has to consider whether the money was a bribe or, as the defense argued, that it was the remainder of his consultancy fees. The judge explained that under the law, it is unnecessary to identify specific favors given by a public official because a general sweetener sufficiently amounts to an offense. At the end of 2007, Hui served as an unofficial EXCO member and collected $11.18 million from the other defendants. The prosecution alleges that the defendants conspired to provide advantages to a public official. The judge said that if the jury cannot be sure if the money was from the Kwok's, 2 of the defendants, or was a gift from a former Beijing official, Hui should not be found guilty on those charges. McRae noted that the prosecution has the responsibility to prove that these were bribes and that the defendant doesn't need to prove his innocence. The judge also reminded the jury that the defendant has to be found guilty beyond reasonable doubt, and he said the jury should not let their emotions or personal feelings towards the defendants affect their judgment. The judge is expected to spend at least 4 days directing the jury, after which the jury will retire for deliberation until they reach a majority verdict. Rani Samtani, TVB News.
Britain's Prince William and his wife Kate have arrived in New York City for an official visit to the United States. As part of their busy schedule, Prince William will meet with President Barack Obama later today.
New York's Empire State Building was purposely lit in the colors of the British flag last night to welcome the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. American fans greeted them with cheers as their motorcade arrived outside the Carlisle Hotel in Manhattan. Admirers didn't mind waiting in the freezing cold behind barricades across Madison Avenue just to catch a glimpse of the royal couple.
They're just amazing, and I've always just wanted to see them. Specifically, Princess Kate, her class, her style, it's all amazing to me, and I find her as such a role model.
Prince William and his wife are taking New York by storm, quite literally. Their 48-hour whirlwind trip to the Big Apple will include a visit to the National September 11th Monument and Museum. And Kate will meet with kids at a child development center in Harlem. Because royalty does have its privileges, the prince will have a face-to-face meeting with President Obama inside the White House.
I think that they do influence politics, and I think that their steady visibility is very beneficial for the world.
Later tonight, they'll catch a live basketball game in Brooklyn. The NBA action features the Brooklyn Nets and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Along the way, the Royals, who were expecting a second child in April, will meet former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her daughter Chelsea, who's a new mother herself. The royal couple will cap their visit by attending a fundraising dinner at the Metropolitan Museum of Art on Tuesday night. The proceeds will benefit the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, where the couple first met and earned their college degrees.
All right, Tony, over to you for sports.
Thanks, Sonia. We've got football to talk about. American soccer star Landon Donovan closed out his career as a champion as the LA Galaxy defeated the New England Revolution to lift the MLS Cup. Jameson Wong has more.
Robbie Keane scored the game winner in extra time as the LA Galaxy grabbed a record 5th MLS